Chief Okocha and Pastor Tonye Cole of the APC in Rivers State has clashed over party leadership issues. Okocha rebuked Cole for his comments questioning Okocha's authority after a court removed him as Caretaker Chairman and reinstated Chief Emeka Beke's faction. Cole had claimed Okocha was associated with Chief Nyesom Wike's political circle. In response, Okocha accused Cole of undermining President Bola Tinubu during the 2023 elections, alleging that Cole supported PDP's Atiku Abubakar and avoided promoting Tinubu in his campaign materials. Okocha claimed Cole's actions led to Tinubu's reluctance to support him publicly and suggested Cole was secretly backing Atiku. Okocha emphasized that he reports directly to Tinubu and the APC National Chairman, not Wike, and accused Cole of having no legitimate role in Rivers APC. He concluded by advising Cole to accept his political setbacks quietly. Joining me on Open Conversation is Daniel Momo, a political analyst. Good morning, Daniel, and welcome to Open Conversation.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Yes.
Daniel,
good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Daniel.
Daniel, what is your take on this Rivers State APC bickering back and forth between Tonye Okocha and Tonye Cole?
Yeah, first, good morning, viewers. Let me start by responding to what he said last and then delve into this. You see, why we advocate for a proper federating unit with its powers on finances, on several autonomies, we must take a back seat and look at the journey so far. How have we fared as a country? Because the truth is that we have tested all kinds of government, whether military, whether parliamentary, all we have tested it. And then we got to ask ourselves, what are the issues? Like what he said. The truth is, yes, it is good that states organize local government elections. But in our own case, and we must note our kind of environment, the truth is, who owns the sensitive materials? National owns it. Not SIEC. SIEC of any state don't have any sensitive materials. Who owns the data? INEC owns the data. Who owns the non-sensitive materials? INEC owns the non-sensitive materials. What it then tells you is that all of the SIEC of the states are borrowing it. Instead of borrowing, why don't we allow them use their materials? So that in a court of law, if you come to now say, because we have seen where local government elections are conducted, where INEC said they release data to the SIEC of states, and intentionally they remove names of certain persons. People get to go and vote and say where they pasted names, they can't find their names there. Originally, it is in the INEC original data. But sent to conduct local government elections, you won't find those data there. And so I think that at the very moment, trying to get ourselves right, INEC should conduct those elections. Right. Because all of the materials, everything belongs to INEC. None of the SIEC of any state has any single material to do, especially the data to conduct those elections. Now, having said that, I think that Rivers State, this bickering is neither here nor there. Right. Fighting for who you recognize as national, for me, it is not. The Emeka Beke faction were duly elected. They went into congresses duly, my word, they were duly elected. Now, what were the premise that made the national to dissolve them? Does the national has that power to dissolve them? If you accuse them of antipathy, was Emeka Beke given a fair hearing? In other words, if you accuse me of having an affair or romancing the PDP or campaigning for the PDP or anything, I should be given a fair hearing to come before a committee set up by the national body to answer to some things. But you cannot just wake up, and that's why we are saying it's a democracy. One man cannot use a fiat because you either like my face or you do not like my face. You wake up and say, no, the ESCOs of ABCD state are dissolved. Why should that ever happen? Now, good that Emeka Beke went to court and the court reinstated him. And if we say we practice democracy, there are ingredients of democracy. Rule of law is one. Why not us all obey the courts and then submit back to the court to say with further evidences, this was why we dissolved them, and then let the court has a final say. But unfortunately, Supreme Court over the years had said that every person who is dissatisfied with the decisions of a political party should first seek the internal mechanism of that party. But how about a case where you know that you will not get justice? I think these are the things that we must ask ourselves as a people. I know that I will not get justice. Will I still go there or go to court? Fundamentally, do I have a right to sit where I know, you know it, that you will not get justice here? And then you will go there and then have some delays. At the end of the day, you are booted out. And then the party will say, yes, they gave you a fair hearing. They say, this is what happened, and that's why you were booted out. But on the case of what Okocha was saying, yes, truth be told, during that elections, the Tonye Cole, actually, you saw the posters and all. There was the presidential candidate was it was never there. But he can explain that why he did that. No, I am not their member, so he can explain why that is done. But the truth is, Okocha had gone to the Court of Appeal. They should please hold on, allow the Court of Appeal make that pronouncement, because going to the court, what you have said is that you have submitted everything you are supposed to say. You have given it to the court, and the court should make that pronouncement on your behalf. So Okocha should be patient enough and wait for the Court of Appeal to make their own pronouncement on this issue.
All right. Now, Daniel, you raised a lot of issues, and why you also answered some of the issues as well. Now, one of the issues you raised was, does the party at the national have the right to dissolve a democratically elected state executive? That's on one hand. Now, the second issue you raised again was with regards to the court giving judgment, in favor of Emeka Beke. But I don't know if you are also aware that there had also been a court case before now that actually ruled in favor of Tonye Okocha, and Emeka Beke did not appeal that matter, and he also ran to a court of sister jurisdiction to institute this case. That's an interesting one, and that was one of the points that Tonye Okocha, made when he was rejecting the judgment of this court. And Tonye Okocha said there was already a judgment in my favor, and then Emeka Beke did not appeal, and then he ran to another case. I don't know if you understand. Now, this is another perspective to this whole issue. Then you also asked the question, what is the essence of engaging the internal mechanisms of a political party when you're sure you're not going to get justice, like everything is already against you? Then the question I want to ask with regards to the concerns you have raised is, did Emeka Beke actually indulge in anti-party activities?
No, the party who dissolved him should be able to tell the world.
That was the reason they did.
No, see, you cannot be a judge in your own matter. What I'm saying is, when you use like a fiat to dissolve an elected, let's not forget, an elected body, you are supposed to say, I accuse him of these offenses, and we give him 21 days to face the internal party
disciplinary committee.
Yes, and then the man comes with evidences based on what you have accused him about, and to say, no, I did this, I was not this, I did this, we didn't get that. The local party here can tell you, the national never. That's why I said, yes, you saw some posters where the president was not there, but were they funded from the national level? You should ask. There's some questions you must ask yourself. What did the national level fund? Because it's always like that. That when there's a general election, the national party at the national level also funds all various organs in the state. Were they funded? If they were funded, then you can accuse them of not using that money to do what was actually meant.
When the national fund states that they are sure that they are working in line with the vision of the national?
No.
Why should the national fund the state that is working against them?
Okay, now.
Then they will use the money from the national to protect
no,
the interest of another party. Make it make sense to me, Daniel.
No, for the sake of the viewers who are watching, the point is, at the time that the general election was going on, who were the duly elected members in Rivers State? Emeka Beke.
Yes.
There was no problem. He was the chairman here. So then what it means is that every correspondent from the national level comes to him here in Rivers State. He reports back to them. There was no time we heard there were issues. Now, after the elections, they were dissolved. Ordinarily, you are supposed to give them time to answer for a query. You cannot. No.
You
Congress.
didn't answer the issue of the money I asked, whether the national should fund the state that it's not working in their interest.
No, if it was not working in their interest, why did they not take a step then?
Now, if that is the case, Emeka Beke clearly, his executive clearly in Rivers State were working for Atiku Abubakar.
No,
hold on.
Why did we not say they are working for Obi?
Hold on.
Why was it Atiku?
Hold on. These things were obvious. They
were
there. Daniel, hold on.
Okay.
I want to ask a question. The question would be, you said they did not receive funds from the national.
No. We are only looking at what could be
the reason.
Okay, if you give me money, why did you not put your poster on our own? We're just trying to analyze where could there be a problem.
And I now asked, why would I give someone money to push the agenda of another? Now, if I go by your reasoning, the question would be that you that would expect me to give you money to push the agenda of another, the agenda you were already pushing, were you funded to push it? The question that, let me rephrase the question. By the actions of Emeka Beke, if the argument, because you're not actually the first person that is raising this particular concern on my show, that they were not funded from the national. And so they are quite well within their right not to project the national candidate, the presidential candidate. Then my question is, if that is the case, are they saying by their actions of projecting Atiku Abubakar that they receive funds from PDP national to project the presidential candidate of another party?
No, it will be, because they are not here to defend themselves, we would not say they are Atiku funding them or the PDP did or anybody did. At that time, the leader of the PDP here was the governor of Rivers State.
So probably it will also not be fair to say that the national did not also fund them.
No, I'm not saying they didn't fund them. We are only looking at, okay, if they were truly funded, why is this happening? Why is that happening? So, sometimes as analysts, we try to look at, okay, could this be true? Could this go this way? So what I'm saying, in essence, is that Emeka Beke was never any fora given a fair hearing to defend himself about the anti-party activity of why his were dissolved. And I think it's within his right. If you did not give me a right of fair hearing, I would think from me that if I go back to you, you might not give me that fair hearing. I will head to court directly. I will not wait for you.
All right. Ndamzi, what is your take on this issue?
Yes, on this issue, I want to borrow a leaf from Mr. Daniel Momo when he said Emeka Beke was not given a fair hearing. You see, political wranglings, I have advocated that political wranglings, when it has to do with internal party disagreement, arbitration should be key. Political parties should learn how to, resolve their issues via arbitration, because seeking redress in court, what it does is, one, it is time consuming.
Exactly.
2, is expensive. 3, it does not, fix relationships. So, but with arbitration, you see, faces will be saved. Relationship will be secured. At the end of the day, there will be this internal understanding to have everybody work together as a team. But when it has to do with seeking redress in the court, the injured party feels offended, that, look, this person have infringed on my rights, I have to seek redress. And he will be doing that drastically without minding whose horse is God. But in this instance, the matter is already before the Court of Appeal. So there are issues I may not be privy to divulge here, but one thing I know, and I was privy to know, that during the last general election, the APC here in Rivers State indirectly campaigned for Atiku. Even in the unit where I superintended, they were sharing money for members to vote for Atiku. It was an obvious fact that here in Rivers State, particularly, the APC faction here then worked for Atiku. It's not a hidden fact. It's not politics. We are being realistic here. Viewers out there, listeners out there, knows that what I'm positing here is a true fact. Even they themselves, the dramatis personals, they know that what I am positing right now is a fact. They indirectly ask their members to vote for Atiku, even in the various units while the election were going on.
Now, if I may ask you, when you said that they shared money at the ward level, you said
asking
even the
members to vote for Atiku.
You said the ward that you pretended over, they shared money asking members to vote for Atiku. Where did that fund come from?
Like I said, I may not be privy to know where the funds came from.
Okay.
I may not be privy to know who brought the money.
But funds were shared.
I was privy because I was a grassrooted player during the last election.
Okay.
I superintended a unit in my ward, and I can tell you everything that played out during the election. The Rivers State APC, led by Chief Emeka Beke, then indirectly campaigned for Atiku, and they asked their members to vote for Atiku. It's a known fact. And I think that is the reason the NWC dissolved them, because it's a sheer anti-party activity. And let me also tell us something here for record purposes. Because the political parties in Nigeria have not appreciated arbitration, okay? The rules of engagement is just almost the same. When you offend or go against the party constitution, they met out disciplinary action against you. It is tried both in PDP, the APC, and also what is happening in Labour Party currently. So, that decision on dissolving Emeka Beke, it's a decision taken in high place, and the best way Emeka could just gotten justice is to seek court redress. There is no way.
But
there is no way, like you posited, Mr. Daniel, that he should be given fair hearing. We know the client we are. We know the client we are. Arbitration is nothing to write home about when it comes to the political associations here in Nigeria. So this will also be a forum to advocate that political parties should review their constitutions, their internal mechanism of resolving issues. Let it be solely arbitration. It will help a lot.
All right. You wanted to say something?
No, I agree. No, he has touched on what I wanted to raise.
All right. Now, still talking on the anti-party activity, you recall that on the day that the judgment was given in favor of Chief Emeka Beke, and he was reinstated by the court to be the APC chairman in Rivers State. When he was he was addressing the press after the court judgment, one of the things that he said, he extended, he pledged allegiance to the PDP governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, His Excellency Siminalayi Fubara. He pledged allegiance to him and said that they will work with him. Now, the question would be, isn't that actually justifying the move of the APC National Working Committee? Because if you were suspended or your executive was dissolved for anti-party activity, you go to court, or on the day that judgment was given in your favor, while addressing the press, you came out to still make the same statement, which is also tantamount to anti-party activity. So where is the place of opposition in Rivers State if the opposition is now a minion or a stooge to the ruling party?
Well, it is an obvious fact that today in Rivers State, the only viable opposition we can identify is the Tonye Okocha-led faction of the APC. Because if a state party chairman that was recognized by a court judgment could come up openly and align himself with a governor who is not a party man, that justifies the fact that the NWC accused him of anti-party activities. Otherwise, he should have made statements criticizing the policies of the state government. At that point, even the APC members would have expected the chairman to criticize the government policies, to ask questions about funds received, to ask questions about developmental projects and all that. But he never did. He just went straight and assured the governor of a smooth relationship.